Hello! General Hospital spoilers will reveal. The upcoming developments in General Hospital suggest that Sidwell is preparing to host what appears, on the surface, to be an elegant and carefully orchestrated dinner gathering. As the host, Sidwell intends to bring together two families whose connections to one another remain delicate and uncertain. His goal is to create a setting where Lucas and Marco's families can interact under controlled circumstances, perhaps easing tensions and building a sense of fragile unity. The atmosphere he envisions is one of sophistication and diplomacy, a place where conversation flows easily and old suspicions might begin to soften. Yet beneath this polished vision lies the uncomfortable truth that Sidwell rarely does anything without a deeper motive, and the timing of this gathering raises questions about what he truly hopes to achieve. From Sidwell's perspective, the dinner represents an opportunity to demonstrate control. He is a man who prides himself on managing people and situations with careful precision, and orchestrating a meeting between Lucas's circle and Marco's family allows him to position himself at the center of a potentially powerful alliance. By acting as the gracious host, he places himself in a role that suggests authority and influence, someone capable of smoothing over old conflicts and encouraging new connections. However, the reality of Port Charles has always proven that even the most carefully planned gatherings have a tendency to spiral beyond anyone's expectations. In a town built on secrets, betrayals, and hidden agendas, any attempt to control the narrative often leads to unpredictable consequences. What makes this particular dinner even more volatile is the fact that several personalities with complicated histories will be present in the same room. The guest list alone suggests that Sidwell may be underestimating the emotional currents already swirling beneath the surface. Lucas carries his own burdens and anxieties, while Marco has repeatedly found himself navigating dangerous territory in order to protect the people he cares about. Bringing their worlds together could ignite tensions that neither man is fully prepared to handle. Even if Sidwell hopes to present this evening as a moment of reconciliation, the underlying mistrust between different factions may quickly turn what should be a calm social event into something far more explosive. The presence of Ava and Lucy only adds another unpredictable element to the situation. Both women possess strong personalities and long memories when it comes to past conflicts, making it almost inevitable that sparks will fly once they find themselves in close proximity. Ava is known for her sharp instincts and her refusal to back down when challenged, while Lucy thrives in chaotic environments where emotions run high and alliances shift unexpectedly. Their history alone suggests that polite conversation could easily give way to simmering resentment, awkward confrontations, or even outright hostility. If tensions between them rise, the evening could quickly transform into a spectacle that draws attention away from Sidwell's carefully arranged agenda. Yet even that kind of drama might turn out to be the least of Sidwell's concerns. The real danger may lie in the darker forces that seem to hover around Marco and those connected to him. Marco has already demonstrated a willingness to cross moral boundaries when protecting Lucas, and that protective instinct could become especially dangerous if he believes someone at the dinner is threatening the man he cares about. In an environment where alcohol flows freely and emotions run high, even a small confrontation could escalate into something far more serious. What begins as a tense exchange might quickly spiral into violence if someone pushes the wrong button at the wrong moment. Another shadow looming over the evening is the presence of Pascal, a man whose involvement in the broader storyline has often hinted at instability and danger. Pascal has never seemed like someone destined for a peaceful future, and his unpredictable nature makes him a particularly volatile element within this gathering. If Pascal feels cornered or threatened during the evening, his reaction could ignite a chain of events that no one present will be able to stop. His history suggests that he is capable of making reckless decisions, especially when his own survival appears to be at stake. In a room already filled with fragile alliances and hidden resentments, someone like Pascal could easily become the spark that sets everything ablaze. This possibility leads to an even darker scenario that viewers of General Hospital can easily imagine unfolding. If Pascal pushes Marco too far or attempts to expose something that could destroy Lucas, Marco may feel he has no choice but to take drastic action. Marco's loyalty to Lucas has repeatedly shown itself to be intense and uncompromising, and under the right circumstances, that loyalty could drive him to commit an irreversible act. In such a moment, the dinner party could transform from a tense social gathering into the scene of a shocking crime. The discovery of a lifeless body, or someone who appears to be dead, would instantly shatter the illusion of elegance that Sidwell worked so hard to create. Should such a disaster occur, the consequences would ripple far beyond the walls of Sidwell's carefully decorated dining room. The event that was supposed to unite families might instead expose hidden rivalries, buried secrets, and dangerous loyalties. Suspicion would spread rapidly among those present, each guest wondering who might be responsible and who might already know more than they are willing to admit. For Sidwell, the night would represent a humiliating loss of control, proving that even his most calculated plans cannot contain the volatile nature of the people surrounding him. In Port Charles, a single evening meant to build connections could instead mark the beginning of a deadly new chapter filled with fear, suspicion, and consequences that no one involved will ever be able to escape. Another possibility surrounding the increasingly ominous dinner gathering involves Britt Westbourne and the dangerous tool she may bring into the situation. Britt has never been someone who approaches a problem without a calculated plan, and if she believes Pascal poses a serious threat, she might resort to a medical solution that only someone with her knowledge could execute. The presence of sodium pentothal, a substance known for its powerful sedative effects, introduces a chilling new layer of tension to the evening. If Britt intends to use the injection to extract information from Pascal or simply to neutralize him before he can reveal something damaging, the consequences could quickly spiral beyond her control. In the chaos of a crowded dinner party, a carefully administered dose might appear to have fatal results at first glance. Pascal could collapse suddenly, his body unmoving, leaving everyone nearby to assume the worst before anyone realizes that he is merely unconscious rather than dead. Such a moment would immediately shatter the fragile atmosphere Sidwell hoped to create. The discovery of what appears to be a lifeless body would send waves of panic through the guests, turning a sophisticated gathering into a scene of fear and confusion. Guests would begin questioning one another, trying to piece together what had happened in the moments before Pascal collapsed. In Port Charles, where suspicion often spreads faster than truth, the room could quickly fill with accusations and desperate attempts to conceal involvement. Even if Pascal is eventually revealed to be only unconscious, the emotional shock of the incident would leave lasting scars on everyone present. The dinner would no longer be remembered as an attempt to unite families, but as the night when everything nearly descended into tragedy. Amid this fragile situation stands Jack Brennan, another guest whose presence could complicate matters further. Brennan's relationship with Sidwell is far from simple, and tensions between the two men could easily rise if Brennan says or does something that challenges Sidwell's authority. Sidwell is not known for tolerating disrespect, particularly in his own domain, and Brennan's tendency to push boundaries might provoke a reaction that no one in the room expects. If Sidwell begins to view Brennan as a threat, the evening could quickly take on a darker tone, placing Brennan directly in harm's way. In such an unstable environment, even a minor confrontation could drag other guests into the conflict, creating a chain reaction of fear and hostility that spreads throughout the entire gathering. At the same time, an entirely different form of danger could be unfolding behind the scenes if Valentine Cassadine chooses to exploit the chaos of the evening. Valentine has always possessed a talent for operating in the shadows, and a crowded dinner party would provide the perfect distraction for someone attempting to move unnoticed through Sidwell's property. If Valentine's true objective involves exploring hidden areas, such as a crypt or secret chamber beneath the estate, the timing of the gathering would work perfectly in his favor. However, such a gamble could place him in serious danger. Sidwell is unlikely to leave sensitive areas unprotected, and if Valentine is discovered where he does not belong, the consequences could be severe. What begins as a quiet act of espionage could quickly transform into a life-threatening confrontation, leaving Valentine trapped in a situation far more dangerous than he ever anticipated. In a place as shadowed and mysterious as Windermere, it is not difficult to imagine the kind of terror that could erupt in an instant. The castle has always carried an atmosphere of history and secrecy, its dark corridors and towering stone walls seeming to hold echoes of past tragedies. During Sidwell's carefully arranged dinner party, guests may initially be distracted by the elegance of the surroundings and the polite conversations flowing around them. Crystal glasses clink, soft music fills the halls, and the appearance of sophistication masks the tension simmering beneath the surface. Yet all it would take is one wrong turn, down a dim hallway, one curious guest wandering away from the gathering to trigger a moment of pure horror. The sudden scream of someone discovering a lifeless body somewhere within the castle could shatter the illusion of civility in an instant. Such a discovery would immediately send shockwaves through the entire gathering. What began as an attempt by Sidwell to unite families and present himself as a gracious host would collapse into chaos within seconds. Guests would rush toward the sound of the scream, fear spreading rapidly through the halls as whispers of death circulate among those present. Panic would begin to replace the calm sophistication that defined the evening just moments earlier. In a setting like Windermere, where danger often hides behind grand architecture and ancient secrets, the discovery of what appears to be a corpse would create a sense of dread that no one could easily ignore. The elegant dinner party would end abruptly, transformed from a carefully controlled social event into a scene of confusion and alarm. Even if the body turns out not to be truly dead, the psychological impact of such a moment would still be devastating. Someone collapsing and appearing lifeless on the cold stone floor would be enough to ignite widespread panic. Guests would question whether they are witnessing a murder, a medical emergency, or some kind of elaborate deception. The uncertainty alone would create an atmosphere thick with suspicion. In a room filled with individuals who already harbor secrets and hidden agendas, the idea that someone might have staged a deadly trick would only deepen the sense that nothing about the evening is what it seems. The fear and mistrust unleashed by that moment could linger long after the truth begins to emerge. For Sidwell, the disaster would represent a humiliating failure of control. The entire purpose of the gathering was to present an image of unity and stability, to create an environment where alliances might quietly form under his watchful eye. Instead, the event could spiral into something far more dangerous and unpredictable. Guests might begin accusing one another, wondering who could be responsible or who might have known about the situation beforehand. In Port Charles, where rivalries and hidden motives shape nearly every relationship, the sudden appearance of what looks like a murder scene would instantly turn everyone into a potential suspect. Sidwell's carefully designed evening would collapse under the weight of fear and suspicion. Ultimately, the troubling possibility that Sidwell's dinner party could unravel in such a dramatic way fits perfectly within the unpredictable world of General Hospital. Plans that appear flawless often unravel when human emotions, secrets, and desperation collide. What was meant to be a sophisticated gathering at Windermere may instead become the catalyst for shocking revelations and dangerous confrontations. The hints surrounding this storyline suggest that Sidwell's carefully planned event could encounter serious complications, potentially leading to alarming developments that leave everyone questioning what truly happened that night. As these tensions build, viewers can expect that the party may not end with polite farewells, but rather with the chilling realization that something has gone terribly wrong within the walls of the castle.